I'm curious as to what you guys think. So there was a question that Neil poses, and it is it possible that there is something about our lives, us, God, that we don't fully understand, that the understanding of which would change everything? When you guys think about that, does anything come to you? I think the um, reason for the question was that we need to question things, that we need to ask better questions. And this idea of like, if you go and you just say, my way is the only way, then you're not asking those better questions. So I'm curious, V, what are your thoughts on that question?
Well, when I think of that, I think of my constant question, which is like, I don't know if I'll ever get the answer to this in this life, but it's the balance between, do I create my own life or do I surrender to a higher power? And I don't have the answer. And I pretty much read this book over and over again, hoping for some kind of like movie, because it really, I mean, if you read the whole series, like, I mean, there's like 10 books in it. He really goes back and forth. God really goes back and forth between like, you create your reality on thought, word, and deed. And then later talking about how like you can have intentions, but you shouldn't have preferences, because then when you want something to go a certain way, you need something to be a certain way. But then he talks about how I can have anything I want. And so I'm very confused by it still. And I would say this is like my biggest question, and maybe it's like what I'm here to like fully understand in this life. I feel like other people don't struggle with this as much. Um, but and that I'm a control freak. So this is like, it's, of course, this is the answer I'm like seeking over and over again. But I think, I mean, this morning I was just thinking like maybe it's just both, like, and I have to just accept that there's no black or white answer. It seems like that's the pattern in life, is that it's never one way or the other. The answer is always somewhere in the middle. And I say that with everything, like politics and arguments with people and everything. The answer is always somewhere in the middle. Um, I think the thing that we really don't understand as a society is what love is. And he talks a lot about that in our books, because cultures and a lot of religions say God loves us, but the definition of love as a society, even if you look at our relationships, like they're very dysfunctional. That's why 50% of people end up divorced. Like, we don't know what true love is. We think love is what we can get from someone, when true love is what we can give with no expectation. And I think that understanding is really hard for a lot of us. It's definitely hard for me. But until you realize what love is, you can't understand how God loves you. And so you can't understand God. And so that, I think, is like what I would say is the answer to that.